Hey guys, Brandon Woolham hanging out in the CCM Cafe today with our friend Scotty Inman. What's up, my man?
Just having a great time with you, enjoying being here.
Well, if you're here, that means you have something new out.
Yes.
New album is out there now, My God. Now that people have had it for at least a little bit, what do you hope they're taking from it?
Well, honestly, this album is so introspective. This is kind of where I'm at, and I think there's probably going to be a lot of people that are in similar situations. I mean, we can look through our life and go, man, I was that close to doing something really stupid, but for the grace of God. I think that's kind of the umbrella of this album, is kind of like God's grace. We're sinners. We're all sinners. We're going to fail, but for the grace of God, His grace is new to us every day, and it's sufficient. And so I'm no different than anybody sitting behind their computer or their phone right now. Just product of God's grace. So.
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing more of that in Christian music, at least the past year or so. More real topics coming in to songs. I feel like it was kind of taboo for there a little bit, and we're seeing more like what I would describe as Jesus singer-songwriter music. We're hitting some real topics. When you went into this writing session, was that something on your mind, or did you get in there and you're like, this song is really on my heart right now?
Well, I'm part of a local church, so I lead worship at church. I teach kids Sunday school and stuff like that. So because of that, I hear and I'm around things of the church, and I hear what believers are going through, and that's really no different than anybody else. The difference is they have Jesus. And so these songs are basically like, you're going to have a bad day. You're going to, like I said, you're going to fail, but with Jesus, there's redemption and there's grace. So I just think that I wanted to let people know that that with Him all things are possible, and you can get through anything with Him.
And this one's got some recognizable names on there with you too. There's some songwriters and some special guests.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, we called in the big guns. We're just, I've always been an Isaacs. I'm friends with the Isaacs, love the Isaacs, love anything Isaacs. Huge Isaacs fan. And they were quick to jump on singing with me on a fun song called Little White Church House, and they just took it over the top. Jimmy Yeary, which is Sonia's husband, who is a well-accomplished country songwriter, wrote, honestly, I write a lot of my songs, and I feel like he wrote one of the biggest songs of my career so far, and that's Motel Bible. Just so grateful that he said, I want you to sing it. And so that's on there. Jason Crabb, who is, he's just getting started. No, I'm joking. No, he's awesome. Huge fan of his, friend of mine. Charlotte Ritchie, just really blessed to have people coming around me and kind of lifting me up and helping me out.
We just got done talking about Hendersonville before this, Hendersonville, Tennessee, which is pretty much where every single person you just named lived. So just have a lunch meeting in Hendersonville, like, hey guys, I want you on this album.
Yeah, but yes and no. No, it all kind of worked itself out. Me and Jason actually wrote Man on the Middle Cross, which is on the record. So that made sense. We're in the room singing it. The demo sounded really cool with me and him. I was like, hey, why don't you just come on here and sing it? He's like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that kind of happened. It worked itself out. Charlotte Ritchie, we needed a high harmony, and man, there's just not anybody any better than Charlotte Ritchie.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Little White Church House, when you hear that song, you're going to go, oh, I understand why they're on that one. But yeah, just so, and a lot of songwriters that helped me out on this record, I feel like more two brains are better than one when you're writing a song, different perspectives. And so people like Brian White, wrote with me on this, Don Poitras, Lee Black, Kenna Turner West, just a lot of great, Tony Wood, just a lot of great writers.
Yeah, sometimes in Christian music it's getting better, but we silo ourselves, so there could be somebody watching this with CCM that's looking at me and wondering why I'm talking to you like I know you.
Right.
Maybe let's explain the story of Scotty Inman if somebody's watching this, like, why is it making it sound like I should know this guy?
Well, I sang 21 years with a group called Triumphant that was based out of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. They're still going strong, still doing an amazing job. God, about 2 years ago, placed it on my heart to kind of move on and spread my wings. And it was hard because that was a fast-moving train that was just not stopping. It just only up, and God's doing great things there. But there was still that tug of, this is not where you're supposed to be. And I learned real quick, if you don't do what God is telling you to do, you can get pretty miserable. And I wasn't miserable with anybody in the group. Love the guys. My dad's in the group. Love my dad. But they saw it too. They saw that it was time for me to just kind of move on and do what I needed to do, and God has proven faithful and true in all of it. And all the uncertainty of starting something new, this many years later, there's a complete peace, and it's so cool. And everybody's just kind of wrapping their arms around me and loving on me during this time.
Yeah, so this is album number 2 with the solo career. The first one put out with a different label. This one, Daywind. Your first kind of...
the first album was put out while I was with the group. It was kind of like, I'm with Triumphant, I'm doing a solo album. This is the first solo album as I'm a soloist now, all on my own. So
that second album is always a little tougher. The first one you have your entire life to prepare for. So how was the writing differences and just the process when you go into this one, you make the Daywind album?
Yeah, there's that sophomore slump thing that you hear in music.
Yeah.
I'm going, oh, here we go. Here comes a sophomore slump. But I think we were able to kind of avoid that. And I think it's just a matter of just being current with the music and the topics and just right in your heart. I think if you go with what God's placing on your heart, you won't be in a slump. But I think if you chase a lot of maybe the fads and don't write your heart, maybe that's where you might get in a little trouble. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but I'm just saying.
As people give this album a listen and they go down the tracks, what's one you want them to make sure they go back and they give it a couple more listens to really deep dive into the lyrics of a song?
Okay, I love them all. They're all my children. They're all. But I'm telling you, but for the grace of God, I'm telling you, that song is hard to sing. It's hard to hear because, man, every day we need God's grace. And I've had more text about that song and people just reaching out and just telling me, man, I needed to hear that today. But for the grace of God, I think it's like track 6. Go check it out. Didn't mean to cry. But I think the text I've gotten and the heaviness of it tells me that song is really, really touching people.
Yes, make sure you go listen to that one. And you're kind of one of the people that appears as keeping the disc makers in business. We have a physical CD that I'm looking at on the table over here.
Yeah, we're keeping them alive. Some are using them as coffee coasters, but we like to play them if at all possible. I love records.
Yeah.
LPs are coming back too, and that's kind of cool. We don't have an LP.
More people probably have a record player at this point than a CD player.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a record coming out soon with My God. And I can't wait to get that one myself because I have a record player at home too.
Yeah,
but awesome. Yeah, some people honestly in our genre they're still CD buyers, and I'm grateful for it. All
right, the album's out there, My God, from Scotty Inman. You can get it on all the streaming services, add it to your playlist, share it with some people. Where else are they going to follow you at?
ScottyInman.com. I have Facebook. Look for the one with the blue check mark. Scotty Inman, blue check mark. Instagram, Scotty Inman, the blue check mark. Not all these fraudy ones. And would love to keep in touch with you. And it's the best places to do it.
After listening to this saying, what is he saying his last name is? They spell Inman how?
Inman. Scotty with a Y, Inman.
All right.